Okay, I think we are ready for our Medabots run. We have two amazing runners here. Exciting, exciting. Feel free to introduce yourselves.
Alright, I'll start. My name is Halzyn. You can call me Hazel if that's too difficult for you. I usually run Donkey Kong Country, but I also like to dabble in Medabots from time to time. So here I am.
I'm WhoDis. You can call me Matt. That's fine. Doesn't matter either way. I played this game ever since I was a child, and I thought to myself one day, hey, I should speedrun it. So here I am.
That's actually the same for me. I also played this game in my youth. It was one of the first games I ever got. So
yeah, this is the first game I ever bought with my own money. I think I was 10, so I saved up for a couple Christmases. You know, I went to the store and I was like, I've never heard of this. This looks cool. I looked at the back of the box and I was like, yeah, I'll buy it, sure. And now it's like one of my favorite games. So good choice.
That's awesome. On my part. For sure, for sure. So should we just get into it and then explain the game as we go?
Sure, whatever you're happy with.
Okay.
It's a single bingo as I understand it, so...
Yes.
Yep. And actually, if you want to reveal the card now, and then just 3, 2, 1, start new game?
Yeah, probably.
Alright, cool. We can just explain it as we go.
So
it's a pretty RNG dependent game, but we'll explain.
Yeah.
Alright, so 3, 2, 1, start.
Okay, so this is Medabotx on GBA. This is probably the most RNG-heavy platform fighter you will ever come across.
Ever.
So the idea is that it's a 2v2 fight. It's all against CPUs, obviously. And each Medabot consists of 4 parts: a head part, 2 arms, and a set of legs. And the win condition is to destroy the head of the opponent's leader Medabot. So the teams are divided into a leader and a partner. And you destroy a part by completely depleting its health. And then it's destroyed and it becomes defunct. And that's basically how the fighting works. You want to explain a little more who this?
So yeah, you basically always control your own team's leader. If your part gets destroyed, you know, you can see at the bottom of the screen there are these little blue bars. Those are the cooldowns. It looks like they're health bars, but they're actually cooldowns for when you use the part. The health is in the corner, so bottom left corner there are 4 blue balls. Those are the health of my different parts. So if you get a part all the way down to 0, it gets destroyed. You can revive them in certain cases, but for the most part, I imagine that our parts will be destroyed. Yeah, so once the head part of a Medabot gets destroyed, it effectively dies. Called its function. So that's the goal. In a regular speedrun, typical strat is to just go for the leader and try to get his head down to 0 as fast as possible. There will be matches in this bingo run where that's not going to be necessarily the best course of action. So sometimes you'll see us go straight for the healer. If there is one, sometimes we'll go straight for the leader. It all depends on who you're facing.
Yeah. So another thing that's interesting is when you win a battle, you usually win a part of the opponent's Medabot's team. And if you lose the battle, you lose one of your own parts that you've used in the battle. We get around that by save scumming. So if we ever lose, we'll just soft reset the game and we'll just try again, basically.
Yeah,
right now
it's kind of like the Beyblade function. You know, if you were like me as a child and you like played Beyblades during recess in school, if you lost, you would lose a part. So it's kind of the same way.
Yeah, pretty much. So right now we're in the first phase of the game. This game has 4 phases. And the first phase of the game is basically to beat these 6 preliminary trials. We're playing as Icky, the protagonist of the Medabotx franchise, and our goal is to win the tournament, but before we can participate, we have to conquer the six trials first in the 6 regions of the map. So we're doing that right now, and these battles consist of 3 battles in a row. This is actually the only time in the game where if you lose at all, you don't lose a part. So you don't have to save scum here just yet. You can just try again. After 3 battles, you win a random part from one of the Medabots you faced and a medal. You can get 8 medals in this game. You start with 2 of them, and you get 6 more as you progress. And the medals, basically, they sort of control your stats, so like range damage, melee damage, defense, etc. And also, they give you a special power called Metaforce. If you look in the corner of, I don't know who this is battling right now, but in the corner of the screen, you can see green bars for every Medabot. That bar fills up over time, but also when taking damage or when inflicting damage. And once it's full, you can unleash your Metaforce, which is a special, very powerful ability. You'll notice it when the screen sort of freezes and one of the Medabots looks like it's charging something. That's the Metaforce.
Yeah, and different Metaforces do different things. Like the one that Hazel and I are probably going to be using for the whole game is just a very powerful like wave of damage that goes forward. In the other version of this game, there's a medal called Kabuto, which is far and away the best medal in the game because it shoots out like 4 homing missiles that all do a large amount of damage.
Yeah, you can basically one-shot an opponent with your Metaforce alone if you have.
Yeah, especially if they're down. When you knock a Medabot down, they're defenseless. So a good strategy in this game is to knock them down and then use your Metaforce, and it'll essentially guarantee that you destroy one of their parts.
Yeah.
But with a Kabuto, since it fires 4 missiles, you have a chance of destroying all 4 parts right off the bat if they're knocked down. So it's really, really strong. But it doesn't work well with melee Medabots. It works with shooting Medabots. And actually, I just got Prado Auto.
Oh, nice. Cool. So WhoDis just got one of the parts that he needs to complete his bingo. So that's obviously going to be very RNG dependent. This whole bingo is RNG dependent. The fights are RNG because whenever you damage something, the damage allocation, so where the damage is distributed to, which part, is random. So you can't really control that. At the same time, the parts that you collect are also random. So there's a lot of luck involved in this run. So only run this game if you kind of hate yourself or if you regularly win at the casino.
yeah. If you're a gambler, this game is great.
Oh, absolutely.
And I'm actually looking at the bingo board now. After you know, a couple matches, I'm taking an in-depth look, and this is gonna be brutal, I think.
Yeah, this is not an easy bingo at all. I did just clear off, win 2 matches using 2 mil Medabot. I just noticed I disconnected from the bingo room. Hang on, let me reconnect real quick. There you go. Alright. So some of these bingos are going to be very simple because we just have to win a medal, which sort of happens naturally as you progress through the game. Other things like winning a fight with 2 mil bots is pretty easy. You literally just select 2 mils and then you win. But there are other ones, like there are some very rare parts on here to collect, or completing certain Medabots. So basically, every part belongs to specific Medabots, but you can mix and match them as you please. So yeah, it's ultimately up to the player to decide what they're gonna go for.
Yeah, I'll probably go.
So as this is a single bingo, is there any single line you think are looking pretty nice so far? Or is it too early to tell that sort of thing?
Pretty much, I think. I haven't also studied it in depth yet.
I'm looking at the bottom line, the bottom row. That's looking pretty tempting to me.
That looks pretty good, yeah. I agree. I think one of the lines I want to avoid actually is the one where you have to win on referee decision. But this happens very little in the game. But basically, there is an invisible timer in every match. You don't see it. Most of the time, you won't encounter it either. But if time runs out, then the referee decides who won the match based on something. I don't actually know. And
it's a combination of see, it's weird because you would think it would be just health, right? Whoever has more health wins. But it actually is a combination of how much health you have and like how well you did, I guess. It's kind of like a real boxing match. Like, obviously they count how many punches and stuff, but if you like blocked well, because I actually did I did a match the other day when I was practicing, and it went to referee decision, and I had way less health. Like, I only had my headpiece left, and it was red.
Oh wow!
And the leader had like 2 yellow pieces, and I still won. I mean, I wasn't complaining, you know.
Yeah, obviously you take that. You take that to the bank.
Yeah. So you guys are gonna see a Medabotx right now. Oh, just kidding. I fixed the wrong way. That's beautiful.
Oh wow, I just got a really good part actually. So I just got the helmet part, which basically it's the. I haven't won just yet, but this part, it allows me to restore one of my broken parts. So normally you can't do that, but now I can, which is great actually, because it allows me to survive more fights. Like if I get ganged up on by the CPU, it definitely happens in this game. Sometimes you just get destroyed, and having a helmet around to heal some of your parts back is pretty great.
And I only have a headpiece left, so there's a very good chance I'm gonna lose.
Yeah, that's rough.
Oh dear lord! Ugh.
What happened?
I just blocked Cool Gata, and I'm at like 1 HP.
Oh wow, okay. Yeah, blocking that Medabotx actually is very dangerous because it does so much damage. It can destroy your parts even through blocking it. That's definitely something you have to look out for.
That was rough. Yeah, so that was sweaty. This game makes me really sweaty sometimes, I will tell you.
Yeah, same here. It can really be down to the wire sometimes, especially when both leader Medabots only have like their head left. You're basically you still have a part left. You still have you know, these stubby little arms left. Your arms aren't completely destroyed, but it's like the equivalent of having to struggle on Pokemon when you run out of PP. You're pretty much useless. So your only option really is to build up Medabotx and hope for the best.
Which is kind of like cheesing, but
it is a little bit cheesy.
A win is a win, you know.
Well, yeah, of course. Well, actually, I don't remember which other parts I have actually. Now that I think about it. All right, I want this and that. Okay. All right. I'm trying to keep track of which parts I've unlocked so that I can so I know when I've completed Medabotx. Which is part of the board, completing certain sets of Medabots and their parts. One thing I want to talk about actually is so WhoDis mentioned earlier that in the other version of the game, the Medabee version, there are 4 exclusive medals, including the Kabuto medal, which has the strongest Medabotx in the game. So you might be wondering, why are we running the Rukosho version? And the reason for that is pretty simple. Rukosho's head, what it does is it allows you to hit the opponent's head more often. So it increases the number of times you hit the opponent's head, and obviously that's good because that way you can finish fights faster than you otherwise would be able to.
Yeah, it's the equivalent of like almost ensuring that you get critical hits in Pokemon.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's not a guarantee, but his headpiece in conjunction with his left arm, which is a hammer, it's arguably the strongest combination in the game. I think.
Arguably, because there are some other combos that are also very, very filthy, but this is definitely one of them. Because you will end a lot of fights just like with one hit. Like right there, I just destroyed someone in one hit, even though he had all his other parts left. Which is,
and once we get to the
really
tournament, after we do all these trials, a tournament opens up and we fight, I think it's 17, 16 Something like that. A
yeah.
good number of opponents in a row. We'll get to an opponent named Erica, and her strategy is just relentless assault. She has, I think she has 2 shooting Medabots, and they go ham.
They are very, very strong and scary.
I don't know if both of them have Kabuto, but I know one of them has the Kabuto medal, and it's almost unfair. Her and Sean, there's another character named Sean, they're really aggressive, so don't be surprised if either of us die or try to save right before we fight them.
I'm most likely going to be saving through every tournament battle just because I don't want to end up losing parts.
Yeah.
And it's just the safest bet, really.
I just dodged rolled through a Gruul God of Metaphors.
So one thing that's
There's
noteworthy
also a
is
couple things.
Oh,
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say there's a couple cool things you can do in this game that aren't really ever explained. Like if I'll show you guys in a second. If you double tap up, you can do a backflip with certain legs.
Oh,
There's really no point to it, but it looks really cool. Like situationally, you know, if you're facing one way and you need to get onto a platform, like it's a good way to do that. But there's also, if you double tap down, you just kind of enter this crouching phase where nothing happens. You don't dodge anything. You don't build up your Metaforce. So like there's very little that's known about most parts of this game. So I kind of like to imagine that the developers are just like, he looks cool when he crouches, so let's just add it in.
I mean, that's possible for sure. Alright, so I just reached the tournament part of the game.
Oh man, you're way ahead.
Am I?
Yeah.
That's dope.
Well, I did a
That's
couple
dope.
free roll battles.
Oh, you did? Okay. I didn't do that at all. I just went through all the regions to complete the preliminaries as soon as possible. You kind of, so the reason I'm doing the tournament is because I see some parts on the board that you can only obtain after the tournament, so I want to try and get as far as I can into the game. Also, you get more XP throughout the game, and we haven't talked about XP yet, but so your medal also levels up. It's dependent on which medal you have, and the idea is that it grows in strength, so your stats grow higher. Which is nice because you get more defense, you get more attack power, you're able to land killing blows more easily. Additionally,
if you have a healer, they heal more.
Yeah, your effects last longer as well. Like say my Rukosho head part that it increases headshots, it lasts for a longer time. So I can profit off of it more. So stuff like that is pretty important.
It's interesting too because for the most part, the female Medabots, they have a good amount of attacking parts, but they have two complete Medabots whose sole purpose is just to heal. So a really good strategy sometimes is to do a male-female combination and have your female only heal you. But it's not necessarily the quickest. I'd say it's probably the safest method, for sure.
Yeah,
but,
I would say the best method for this game to be fast is to just go ham and go in all the time.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Offense is the best defense, as they say. I'm currently fighting Jimmy, which is one of the most annoying guys in the game. I just completely owned him, but he is a jerk. He loves to just run away and defend. He has this one part that disables all of your other parts, so you can't attack at all while he uses it on you. Extremely annoying. I just got Proto Auto too.
I die laughing every time Hazel has to fight Jimmy because he hates him so much.
It's terrible. I'm telling you, it's horrible. You never want to fight Jimmy. It's the worst thing.
So funny.
Thankfully, the fight this time was fairly straightforward for me.
Yeah. I actually almost have a complete Monoclar already.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm close to completing anything in particular.
I think I'm one ton. I hope I'm Yeah, because I got Proto Auto before. I got Crime Stick just now, and you start off with Judge Shield, so I just need his head.
Oh, sweet. I also have Proto Auto now, which is nice. I got it from Jimmy. So somehow Jimmy was just being really nice to me today.
Yeah.
which I
He
like.
felt bad about all the times he caused you stress.
So like every stream.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wait, is this is that something I need? No, it's not. Dang, I thought it was. Yeah, let's just continue.
So this fight that I'm in right now, out of the possible 8 parts that I can win from these 2 Medabots alone, after you do a trial, you have basically a 1 in 24 chance of getting the part you want, because each part has an equal chance of being won, and there are 6 Medabots, each with 4 parts. So that's 24 parts. 2 of the parts that are in this match right now are pretty rare. They're the legs from one of the best Medabots in the game, and then a head from one of the rarest Medabots in the game. So if I could win either of those, that would be very helpful. But I have a feeling I'm not going to win, because I keep getting
I just clutched out a match by using my Metaforce. That was very close. My partner got killed super early, so I had to sort of play around that, but it all worked out in the end, thankfully.
Yep. I got killed super early, so that's...
Ah, dang.
That's cool.
I just got one of the flame guns, which is nice.
It's that confusion. So there's one part in the game that causes confusion, and the way confusion works in this game is it basically scrambles your inputs. So I think it goes on like a 3 or 4 second loop. So for 4 seconds, your inputs will all be normal, and for the next 4 seconds or somewhere around there, your inputs will be totally scrambled. So up will be left. If you hold in right, you go through a ledge or something. It's really annoying because there's no continuity to it.
Yeah, it's absolutely horrible.
It each time, and it's so frustrating because all you can do is really block, and half the time you can't even face the right way to block. So you're taking damage. And this early on in the game, your partner doesn't know what they're doing, so it's kind of...
Yeah, that's another thing. The partner AI sort of improves with you as your level goes up and as you unlock specific CPU panels, as they're called. The idea behind those is that as you level up, you unlock these little panel things. If you look at the top of the battle screen next to my partner's Metaforce bar, you can see a little icon. That's the partner's AI setting. The idea behind that is that it gives the partner instructions on how to approach the game. So you can have him either stay back and just acquire Metaforce or attack relentlessly. It kind of depends on the panel, but they can be very very useful.
Oh, I keep getting confused.
Yeah, confusion is absolutely horrible. You do not want to get confused. One of the fights we have later on, it's very hard to get around it in that fight, and it's one of the more frustrating fights as a result.
Yeah, and he's one of the last people in the category that you have to beat in order to complete the category, and finding him alone is enough of a task. And then once you get into the match, it's a task because he confuses you all the time.
Oh yeah. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible.
Probably, I think that might be my Jimmy match. That Shrimp Lips is probably my least favorite.
It's definitely one of the hardest. I don't know if it's my least favorite. It ranks up there. I think my least favorite is against this there's a Medabot in the game called Goram. He's completely green, and he can't do anything except all his parts. All they do is just absorb different kinds of projectiles. So he doesn't actually attack himself. He has a partner that's pretty aggressive, but you can dispatch of it pretty quickly. The problem then is that he just runs away. The leader keeps running away and defending. They have a part. Their legs allow them to block in midair, which is just great.
Yeah, it's broken too.
So it's terrible. you don't want it.
And he's really floaty, so his legs make him very light, so he floats a lot. So all he'll do is fly to the top of the stage and float around.
Yeah.
And block anytime you try to attack him. And that would be fine if his Metaforce didn't do any damage, but his Metaforce does do damage. I mean,
he has one of the stronger Metaforces in the game.
Yeah,
It doesn't
if
only
you
deal
get
a
hit
lot
with
of
it-
damage, but it also replenishes that damage for him.
Exactly. So if you block his Metaforce, it won't heal him. But if he knocks you down by running into you, and then he hits you with his Metaforce, he'll heal pretty much, I don't know, like 75% of the damage that he was dealt so far. So it's
Yeah.
a rough fight. It's definitely one of the more tedious ones to go through. It's not necessarily hard, but you do need to get his parts sometimes, so one of the necessary evils of the game.
I see one of his parts on the list, actually. The Dotak part that's in the
Yeah.
left column is his.
The bottom left, Dotak, I think is his right arm. So his parts, like Hazel said, they absorb different projectiles, and the I guess Mewtwo of this game, his name is Mega Emperor. He's considered one of the strongest. Ooh, I just got a wicked headshot. He's considered one of the strongest bots in the game. And his 3 attacks are a missile, a laser, and like this magnetic storm kind of attack. And Gorum's 3 parts absorb all 3 of those. So he's a really good counter to Mega Emperor, but that's about it. Like that's his only.
Yeah, that's all he does. He counters 1 Metabot, and other than that,
Yeah.
he's practically useless. So I really don't see why they did that, but you know, whatever.
Yeah. So what I'm doing right now, the tournament is open, but I'm doing a couple free row battles, which is basically, just a regular submission match kind of thing, to try to get some more parts unlocked. I think I'm going to go for the tile in the middle on the left-hand side that says Complete Giggly Jelly.
Yeah.
That's one of the easier bots to complete, so I think I'm going to go for it.
It helps that you start with one of the parts already in the beginning. The game gives you 16 parts at the start. It gives you 2 male sets and 2 female sets of Metabots to work with. Not full Metabots, but just sets of parts that you can use. Which is kind of nice.
Yeah, and the cool thing about the match that I'm in right now is Charlie has 2 Metabots, and between the 8 parts, he has a full set from Giggly Jelly. So if you fight Charlie, there's a pretty good chance that you're going to get one of his parts for Giggly Jelly, which I just did. So
Nice.
Intermissile.
I just beat Samantha in the tournament. I'm hoping to get a Pepper Cat part here because there are 2 of them on the board right now, which would be very, very nice. I got Guardian instead, which, I mean, I'll also take because that's also on the board.
Yeah.
That's actually making me look pretty decent on row 4 right now. That was probably the hardest thing on row 4. So I'm thinking I could maybe go for that now. That might be my game plan. And again, this game is super RNG heavy, so that could change at any time. And this run can take from like anywhere between like half an hour to like 2 hours.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a bit of an over-exaggeration. It probably won't take 2 hours. My runs that I've done so far in practice have all been like over an hour, but not by much.
Yeah, I did one. The last practice match I did, I think, was like an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I'll take it. You know, that's not bad at all.
That's fairly average, I would say.
Yeah.
Do we have time for some quick blurbs and stuff?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, go for it.
Alright, so guys, as you know, we are raising money for Fred Hutch here, all for their coronavirus research. And I haven't seen that donations go up in quite some time, so I would like to read some donations again. So get some donations in, you know, it's all for a great cause, and you can even win some prizes.
Yo, prizes?
Yeah.
Yo, tell them about the
All
prizes,
about
yo.
Alright, if you donate a minimum of $10 during the entire event, it might be $5 now, might be $5 tomorrow, and you're in for it, then you can win a Bingothon mug.
Ooh.
You know, I was gonna say that $10 is like 2 Starbucks coffees. And you won't even need to go to Starbucks if you win the mug.
Yeah.
So there you go. It's a no-brainer.
You have to do this. Donate right now. Or you get banned. I'm kidding.
$5 twice.
Exactly.
That's it.
Something I'd like to point out now is about the game that we're playing. Remember that? I'm currently fighting the champion of the tournament. His name is am I dead? Dang. I'm fighting the last guy in the tournament. His name is Henry. He's one of the toughest guys in the game, in my opinion, because he's very strong. He has a strong ranged Medabot. He has a strong melee Medabot. He really loves to go in. I just died to him, as you saw. So I'm gonna go and try again. And then,
also, the music that plays is awesome.
Yeah, there's a great theme here. You won't be able to hear it because the sound's coming from WhoDis stream, I'm pretty sure. But it's a banger for sure.
It is a bop. Get some bops in the chat, because this is an absolute banger.
Do you guys have Cat Jam enabled?
Jimmy's giving me trouble too.
Yeah, Jimmy is a very, very annoying guy to fight, for sure. This guy's owning me. Oh no.
Yeah, but yeah, donations. I mean, I'll tell you something. The U.S. certainly needs all the help with Corona that it can get, because we still don't know what we're doing.
Honestly, same here in the Netherlands right now. It's still not looking great. But it is what it is, you know.
So, you know, anything helps, guys. Any amount. But if you want to do $10 or more, I mean,
nothing's stopping you.
Yeah, no, we're not gonna say no.
You know. We would make really good pitchmen.
Yeah, right. I agree. All right.
You're only agreeing because I essentially just gave you a compliment.
Yeah.
Duh.
Duh.
Man.
Free compliment?
I just lost to Henry 3 times in a row. This is such a difficult fight. It'll be fine.
Yeah. You'll be right. So once Hazel beats Henry, there's gonna be a call it a cutscene.
It's the credits. You have to watch the credits. Because the game sort of pulls this little bamboozle on you. It makes you think that it's over. But then at the end of the cutscene, you'll see that it's not. I won't spoil it just yet, but something does happen.
Huge plot twist.
Extreme plot twist. You will never see it coming.
I mean, people are raving about the Queen's Gambit on Netflix. They should be watching this cutscene.
True. So true. Anyway. Yeah. So I just beat Henry in the tournament. I got tension up, which is nice.
Nice.
So here's the cutscene. It's telling me that I am the winner of the tournament, as everyone was expecting, obviously. Number 1 meta fighter. True. So I'm about to win this prize over here on the stage, but before I win it, I have to watch the credits. So, coffee break for me.
Yes. It's like 2.5 minutes of unskippable.
Yeah.
Unskippable stuff.
While I'm here, I can think about sort of my strategy going forward. I'm still thinking about row 4 the most. It's probably the easiest for me now.
Yeah.
Although column 5 looks pretty good too, or maybe row 5. I'm not sure yet. Column 1.
I think the only issue with row 4 is completing Spidar.
Yeah, although most of his parts are on other bots as well. It's just his legs, but his legs are also in the middle, so that helps too.
Yeah.
Could maybe do could do the top left to bottom row diagonal as well.
I have not a very good positional advantage on this board right now.
Yeah, you're very scattered right now. But I mean, it could all turn around in like 3 fights. I mean, that's just how this game is. So
yeah, so the complete 4 Medabots, complete 6 Medabots, those are basically, I mean, that's not really anything that we can try to go for. It'll just come with time.
Yeah.
As we get more and more parts, we'll receive more and more complete Medabots. So.
Right.
Oh
So-
my goodness gracious! I just got Don punched into oblivion.
So on my screen, this is the Rubber Robo Gang. They just stole my prize. They're basically the Team Rocket of Medabots, and I now have to go and find the 4 leaders, to get my prize back. They can be in any of the 6 regions on the map. So if you don't find them, you just fight a random grunt. So this one I'm not gonna fight, for example, because there's no point. I'm trying to find the leaders right now so that I can get my Medabot back. The prize, I'll spoil it right now. It's a complete Medabot, so that counts towards the complete 4 or 6 Medabot tiles on the board, which is obviously very useful for me.
Yeah, especially that top left. The complete 4 Medabots is going to be huge, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
So you guys just saw me do a soft reset because I lost in spectacular fashion against one of the easier opponents in the game. And so rather than lose a part, the part I was going to lose isn't super important, but I only had one of them, and I don't feel like grinding it out to get another one of those because it's Crime Stick. So,
That makes sense.
you know, I just did a soft reset real quick. Thank you, Save's coming, and now we're back in the fight. And that's that. If
Very nice.
so, the left arm for Rukosho, that's the Medabot with the antennas that we're both playing as. His left arm is the hammer that we were talking about before. If you lose that, there is no single chance that the rest of any run is going to go well.
Yeah.
So it's an incredibly important part. If you lose the sword, not a big deal. It does go against completion of Medabots because you won't have a complete Medabot. I just one-shotted Sean, and that's not on the board. But yeah, so if you lose a sword, it's not a big deal. There are plenty of other swords. There's a ninja sword. There's another part called Flexor Sword, which is basically the same thing. So, you know, depending on what happens in the game, you can always try to be as flexible as possible. It should work out in our favor, though.
Yeah. I just had a really terrible loss against Squid Guts. I was basically up the whole fight, and then he just hit my head once, and I died. So I have to do it again.
With
Crimson
King?
Punch. Yeah. So this is the
So,
first
I'm
Robo leader, and this one's probably one of the easier fights actually. Well, I just destroyed him in 2 hits. So.
Yeah, his Medabots are very strong. The way those parts work, the punches, they're like little electric hammer looking things, but the way they work is they basically guarantee that you destroy a part if you hit an opponent that isn't blocking. If they are blocking, it does no damage.
Yeah.
So a good strategy to go into that is just block the whole time. Oh no! Oh no! Oh, I'm sweaty. Yeah, block the whole time, and this is Erica, by the way, who almost just ravaged me. But,
Erica is definitely one of the more difficult fights in the game.
yeah, so you guys will notice I switched my partner too. What I did was I switched him to a male, and I gave him the helmet part, and what that part does is it allows him to revive any broken part of himself or on me. Hopefully it'll go my way. I've noticed a lot of times when Hazel has a partner with helmet, he'll just heal himself and leave Hazel out in the dust.
Yeah, that is very common. Not at all unusual that you will see a partner prioritize itself over you. It just sucks, but it's something you have to sort of live with.
Yeah, they get greedy sometimes, but whatever.
Yeah, for sure. I think it also depends on the panel you give it.
Yeah.
You can definitely give it a better panel.
So right now I'm fighting Sloan in the tournament. Sloan has a pretty annoying partner Medabot because he has a part that can trap you, and what those traps do is if you get hit with it and you use a grappling part, instead of attacking normally, it'll damage you. Like you just saw there, I just had one of my parts destroyed. But I also equipped a head part that does the same thing for shooting parts, so I'm going to try to trap his leader and see if I can get him to use one of his shooting parts, that way it gets destroyed.
Oh, that's clever, you use Hunter for that? That's smart.
Yeah, the only thing that I don't like about Hunter is it's got such an awful range.
Yeah, it is hard to hit with.
I have to get right up into the enemy's grill. And that's not good. Oh no. Oh, I just died.
I'm in the fight right now with Gorum. That's the Medabot we were talking about earlier, the green one. That as you can see, just
the
fucking
floaty boy.
Oh, sorry, that just runs away. Very really annoying. But usually when you destroy a part or two, he'll stop doing that strategy and just start punching you with his little weak, skimpy arms, and you'll be fine.
The best way to go about that.
Time for a donation.
Sure.
Yeah, of course.
Alright, I got a $20 donation by my co-host Shadowfrost in here.
Nice.
Saying, and if a mug is not enough to make you excited, if you donate a total of $20 throughout the event, you'll also be eligible for winning a digital copy of Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity.
Ooh.
Even more reason for donating. Thank you very much, Frosty.
Thank you, $20. That's, $20 is like 4 Starbucks coffees. Not a big deal.
And Age of Calamity is like, what, $60?
Yeah.
So,
That's 12 Starbucks coffee. If we can keep at that.
That's a bit much though for that.
Oh dear. Alright, so I'm about to go into the Shrimp Lips fight here, which is we were talking about this fight being one of the more annoying ones in the game. Because he has the part, one of his arms can confuse you. We've talked about confuse and how it's absolutely terrible to get confused. And there's a very high likelihood that I'm going to get confused at least once in this fight, like I am right now. So now all my inputs are just sort of scrambled. I can't always run the right way. Sometimes I'll use parts I didn't mean to use, like right there. I use my head. I didn't input that at all. The most annoying part about that is head parts have limited ammo. That's the little bullets you see on top of the green bar. And yeah, running out of ammo so soon is really annoying.
Yeah, especially if you don't mean to use that part.
Yeah, for sure.
Sloan is like, I don't know what's going on today, but Sloan did some research.
Sloan can be very difficult. He can trap you, which is annoying with his partner, and he's also a very defensive Medabot. His defense is very high. So that's something you have to like watch out for.
I have no arms.
The other thing about Shrimp Lips is that his Medabot's Metaforce also confuses every member of your team, and you cannot block it. So
and it lasts for about 5 years.
It lasts very long. It's really rough to deal with. I also lost my hammer, which is just great. So
yeah. So what you're seeing me doing right now is called being a coward. I have no parts but my headpiece left. So I'm going to attempt to just, okay, die, apparently. This is, I think, the 3rd or 4th time I've died to Sloan. Who, in all actuality, isn't really that tough. But
Sloan shouldn't be too difficult now, but it's not uncommon to lose a fight to him, in my experience.
If I had that part in the lower left, Dotak, that absorbs all lasers, that would be great, but I don't have that part, so now I have to deal with this one. I did get a headshot on his leader Medabot, so he should only be a few hits away from, yeah, there we go. A few hits away from dying like that, which is good, and I'm going to save it because I never want to fight him again. That was miserable.
You might have to fight him again, though.
Yeah, I know.
If you're gonna go for the top right, which I mean, it's hard to complete Totalizer, but well, actually, it's not that hard. You just like his head is just the most annoying part to obtain.
Yeah, I have 2 of his parts already because I just got the tank. I got his legs, and I think I already had either Mega Laser or Giga Laser. So if I do come across him, I'll probably fight him just in the hopes of actually completing his bot.
Yeah. So right now I'm up against Sea Slug, which is the final boss of the game, basically. He has a very strong main Medabot. WhoDis referred to it as sort of the Mewtwo of this game, which I can kind of get behind. It's a very defensive bot, lots of powerful weapons. The only real issue with him is that all of his weapons are rather slow, and they have a high cooldown, so should be dealable. Should be able to deal with it. His partner also is able to restore parts and has some very strong swords, so all in all, it's not an easy fight, but if you know what you're doing, it shouldn't be any more difficult than Shrimp Lips.
Yeah, Shrimp Lips is rough. Shrimp Lips is rough, for sure. But, you know, with Sea Slug, the main thing is you want to take out his partner first.
Yeah.
I find that to be way easier. Only because for the majority of the match, his main Medabot is just going to hang behind and kind of do his own thing and shoot at you with long-range stuff, which is all well and good, but if you do get hit by a laser that's fully charged, you know, it's almost guaranteed that you're going to lose a part unless you can block it. But he's not too tough. He can get a little annoying from time to time, but once you beat Sea Slug, it's pretty much smooth sailing from there.
Yeah. So I just beat him. I got my prize back, which is the Medabot called Arc Beetle. Not a very strong Medabot, but pretty fun to use from time to time. It's a ranged Medabot. Our main medal is mostly melee oriented, so we won't be using it, but it's pretty cool. And it gives me another complete Medabot for my tally of 6. So that's also rather nice.
I just got a part, and I don't know if that's the one I need, so I'm gonna double check. It's not. Great.
Bummer.
Yeah. I got Light Blow, and I needed Light Jab.
I also have Light Blow.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. I also got that one. It's like, come on, man.
So
one time for your boy.
Okay, so this is Karen. I don't need anything from her, but she's a pushover. I'm not too worried about
Mostly, she just has the main problem with fights like Karen and the one I'm doing right now against this Gorm again is just the fact that their leaders love to run away and defend and not really do anything. So these fights just sort of take long by nature, but they're not hard. They're just time consuming.
Yeah, that's
which in a speedrun setting is not perfect.
I mean, in the actual any % run, you have to beat the tournament anyway. So
yeah.
This is one of those fights where you don't really have a choice. I would love to just be able to skip some of these fights, but I can't. So I think actually what I'm going to do, since her partner's dead, I think I'm going to try to get this to last until I can get a referee decision. I just hope that... Oh, so one thing I did forget to mention about Karen's Medabot. Her name is Nutrinurse. She looks like a nurse. She heals. It's pretty self-explanatory. Her head part is, I think, one of my favorite parts in the whole game. What it does is basically make her invulnerable to any regular attack for a good period of time. So you can hit her with anything you have aside from Metaforces. She takes damage from Metaforce, but if I can do it at one point, I'll show you guys one of my favorite setups. Hazel loves to do this too. It's a really fun way to do it.
Oh yeah, it's amazing.
You equip her head part, and you equip both arms from an electric Medabot called Peppercat. And you're basically invincible for a good period of time, and you can just go and shock them, and they can't do anything about it. And it's really fun.
It's beautiful. It's one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's honestly like I've never been able to lose with that setup.
So right now I'm fighting this guy called Spydar. The reason he's annoying is because yeah, like you're seeing right now, his main attack is throwing a trap onto you. What the trap does is it doesn't allow you to use melee weapons. If you try to use your melee weapon, it just gets destroyed instead. Or at least it takes heavy damage, which is incredibly annoying, as you might imagine, because for most of the game we use Rukosho. So yeah, I forgot to switch to a ranged Medabot because that completely eliminates the problem.
Yeah.
So right now I'm kind of struggling to not use my hammer.
So you just saw on my screen it said rest 30. That basically means that there's 30 seconds left in the match. At the end of those 30 seconds, it'll come to a referee decision, which, for all intents and purposes, I have no chance of losing. I mean, I obviously do, but I really hope that I don't lose. I'm in pretty good shape. She's got 1 part left. I have 3. My partner has 1. The only issue is you have to jump around and avoid, you know, the enemies for that long, but that's okay.
Yeah.
So I believe I can check off this box. Yeah.
So one thing you're gonna see me do a lot now is you're gonna see me soft resets at certain opponents because they don't have any parts that I'm interested in. And yeah, basically that. So it's at this point it sort of becomes like a game of finding the right opponents and getting the parts that you need. One thing we've theorized, I don't know if I don't know if you've confirmed it as true or not yet, but we think that every time you fight somewhere, there's basically a rotation of like 4 different characters you can come across, and whenever you complete a fight, the rotation resets or re-rolls. So sometimes if there's a Medabot somewhere that you really need the part from, you can, if you win and you don't get the part you need, you can just reset and try again. So I just got Light Circuit, and I'm very close to completing the board right now. I just need to complete 6 Medabots now, and I'm very close to a few of them, so I'm going to try and do that. And that would be a very early, fairly fast actually. How long have we been going for?
That would be huge. I'm actually going to do a soft reset here because I'm fighting Koji, and he has a couple parts that I need, and I just got one that I didn't need, so I'm going to risk losing against him to go again.
Yeah.
Try to get a
I'll
part that I want.
confirm the current timer is exactly 50 minutes.
Okay, wow. So
Yeah,
that would be
bad.
nice.
That'd be like a 25-30 minutes under expected time.
I just run into Charlie, so I'm going to try and complete or get 1 part from Giggly Jelly here that I don't have yet.
Do you have 2?
I have 2, yeah.
Yeah, so Hazel and I both have 2 complete Medabots. When I win,
I have 3 actually, because I have Arc Beetle.
Oh, nice. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, when I win the tournament, if I win the tournament, I'll get Arc Beetle, so I'll be up to 3 as well. I'm a couple parts away from 1 or 2 more. So it'd be interesting to see who can get that elusive 6 Medabot tile first. And I just got another part that I didn't need.
Yeah, I'm fairly close to a few. I'm almost done with Nutrinurse. I'm almost done with Peppercat. I'm almost done with Crimson King. I'm getting close. Giggly Jelly, fairly close as well. So I'm doing pretty decent on completions. So I think right now my focus is just going to be trying to complete as many Medabots as I can. And I just got a part I did not have, so that's perfect. I'm also keeping a list with me on my computer just to see if I can, so I can keep track of everything that I have without having to look in game. So I just found Peppercat again. I'm gonna try and complete the full set here. Let's see if I can get the part I need. Otherwise, I will probably soft reset to try again.
I have like a 4 out of 8 chance of getting a part I want.
That's pretty good. I got the wrong part, so I'm gonna try again.
Okay, I'll take that.
Okay, I'll fight this too.
Not
actually.
the one I really wanted, but I wanted Abductor, and I ended up getting Giga Laser, so I'll take it.
That works. Oh, you were fighting Jordan?
No, I was fighting
Kathy?
Koji.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, he does have
Koji,
lasers too.
yeah.
I forgot about that.
So now I'm only 1 head part away from completing Totalizer, which will be cool because he counts as 1 complete Medabot and also has another board space as well, so that'd be huge.
Yeah.
And I just Henry and got range shooter.
I'm trying to get Abductor as well here from this fight. I'm pretty close to completing War Bandit too. I just need 2 more parts, so I'm hoping that happens too.
Yeah. This is a tough fight, for sure. So it's risky that I'm resetting to try to get another part that I want, but you know, Henry has some good parts. His 2 headpieces are tension up, which would be nice. I need his leader's legs. I could do any of the... Oh, nice, my partner just killed him too. Either of the ninja swords, because I have the legs and I have cover up, so that would be cool.
Oh, nice.
Really, it's just 2 out of the 8 I don't want. Alright, cool. So I got extra charge. Tension up. Alright, so now I'm going to have to sit through this cutscene, drink a little bit of coffee, remind you guys to keep those donations coming in. You know,
absolutely.
Usual stuff.
I'm doing another annoying fight here. Courtesy of War Bandit. Just always well, I wouldn't say annoying, but just a difficult fight to deal with from time to time. He can be very, very strong.
Yeah.
And he is rocking that Kabuto medal, which just killed me.
Nice. Nice.
Classic.
Classic Kabuto.
Very,
So
very
yeah, if
classic.
anyone has any questions, feel free to ask away. We pretty much know almost everything there is to know about this game so far.
Yeah, so far. I feel like we could do a lot more science to it. Try to figure out like how exactly everything is determined, because a lot of things really do feel random right now, and there might be some kind of pattern we don't know about.
Yeah.
But overall, yeah.
Like some sort of de-sum method in Pokemon to actually get the exact part you want. That would be crazy, I imagine, for this.
That would
Yeah.
definitely change the game
Would
quite
you,
a bit.
if that was an option, would you actually want that? Is there a little bit of the niceness of it being random?
I think it takes away from it. It kind of takes away from the appeal of, you know, what am I gonna get? You know.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But I will say that recently, actually pretty recently, a member of the Medabotx speedrunning Discord, Simon, broke the RPG down, and he actually made a Medabotx RPG randomizer. So that's really cool. I'm not huge into the RPG, but I love watching the speedruns. It's a really long game, for sure, but it's interesting to watch. I like when they go into it and they break it down basically into ones and zeros, right? They say, oh, this is why this part functions the way it does, etc., etc. So I eventually want to do that with this game because there are a couple things that go unexplained.
Yeah.
And even in the manual, they don't tell you. There's really no information online. So it'd be cool to kind of see what exactly some of these things can do. What determines when a part breaks, you know, what determines armor and how it's different from defense. But yeah, definitely, if you could pick and choose what part you get, I think that would take away from the appeal of the game for me.
I'd like to point out that I'm coming up on potential time here. Because all I need to do now is I'm fighting Giggly Jelly again, and I need 1 more part from him, and that would tick off both complete for Medabotx and complete Giggly Jelly at the same time.
Oh yeah, wow.
So this would have been a
What
very,
part?
very fast race. Depends if I get it though, obviously, but I think I'm going to just soft reset here till I get it, because that would be my
What
best
part
strat
do you
here.
need from him?
The head.
Headpiece?
Yes.
Same one you do.
Oh, didn't get it. Soft reset, try again.
Someone in chat asked, if you were a Medabot, what Medabot would you be?
Ooh,
Ooh, good question.
that's a great question. I love that question. I haven't
Without
thought about
even
that one.
thinking, I know for sure. I would, I would definitely want to be one called Sumilodon.
Mm.
He is kind of like Rukosho. He's got a sword and a hammer. He's a very grapple melee-based Medabot. But I think he looks way cooler. He's bright yellow. So he's got that real bumblebee effect to him, and his headpiece traps. So that's really cool. I've always liked Smilodon, but you know, there's an argument to be made that he's not as good as Rukosho, and that's fine. You don't always have to be the best.
One of the Medabots that I've always liked is Phoenix. It's the fire-based one, as you might expect from the name.
Yeah. Yeah, they
Phoenix
didn't really
is,
do too much thinking about that.
Very, very, very cool. I've always liked him, even as a kid. I always thought Phoenix was a badass.
Yeah, Phoenix is definitely one of the cooler ones, especially in this game because you can fly with him. And flying in this game
He can
is
fly,
awesome.
and his weapons cause damage over time to random parts too, which is actually very helpful because it makes sword-based weapons more powerful too because they hit more often.
Yeah.
Damn it! I still didn't get the part I need. I just fought him again.
Are you fighting? You're fighting Charlie?
Yeah, I fought Charlie again, but I got the wrong part again. So
Wow. RNG, man.
RNG, man. I could have been done twice.
Hey, I'm not complaining.
I know. Honestly, me neither, because, you know, you kind of want to extend your screen time for as long as possible, obviously.
Well, not
I
when
want
I'm
it to be
playing
over
like
with
this,
in like
I
2 seconds.
Yeah, this Gill Girl fight is not going as well as I had hoped.
Go-Girl can be very difficult. Her main Medabot, her parts basically just transform into random other parts from the game, so it's kind of like the ditto of Medabots. So sometimes it can be really easy, sometimes it can be very, very difficult. Her partner also has the electric arms from Pepper Cat's Medabot, which are always a pain in the ass to deal with.
Yeah.
They are very strong.
I'm gonna hope that I can hit. Oh!
That's Medabots for you.
I was
Alright.
just about to finish the Metaforce charge.
I'm coming up on my third Charlie fight here, hoping to get the headpiece this time so I can be done.
Yeah, I think I might go with the top row. It's not going to be easy, but if I can complete Totalizer, once I win Arc Beetle, I'll only need one more. So that'll be cool.
That'd be pretty good, yeah. I just lost him, so I have to find him again.
Ooh.
I got headshotted by a missile.
Oh.
That just happens sometimes. Sometimes you just lose a fight because you just get one-shotted and there's nothing you can do but drowning your own salts and soft resets.
Yeah. Wipe the tears away.
Alright, take 4. Let's see if this time we can get the part we need.
Man, I am getting absolutely annihilated by Gill Girl right now. It's so bad.
Annoyingly, Charlie's parts are also rather defensive. I mean, they're tanks, so you would expect them to be. But
Yeah.
he can also be pretty difficult to beat, actually. Especially if your partner dies with all of his parts still intact. Alright, I'm gonna...
Great.
Alright, my metaphors didn't hit the head. I'm just gonna soft reset already, because that fight's lost. Sometimes you don't even need to continue a fight, because you just know you're gonna lose. You've got nothing going for you, so he has everything alive.
My God, I just lost my hammer right off the bat.
That's rough. That's really rough. I'm on take 5 here now.
I think I'm the same. This is just absurd. My only hope of winning this fight now is to hit it with a headshot, of course. And I don't want to sound pessimistic, but that didn't happen.
It would be great if my partner would just restore my hammer for me. Oh, thank you, finally. It only took 80 years. That's okay.
Yeah. Good old partners taking their time.
Good old partner. Oh my god, really, man? You've got to be kidding. No! I lost again! Come on, I just want to finish! I'm so close!
This is brutal. Oh, this
It is brutal,
No,
yeah.
no, don't hit me, please. Don't. Oh. Hit a head. Oh!
Well, we're both kind of choking it right now.
Oh,
I mean, part of that is the
man.
game. Part of that is definitely just the game.
I promise I'm good at this game. It doesn't seem that way right now, but I swear.
I have both world records in this game, but I promise I'm not terrible. At least I would have both records if WhoDis over here would, you know, approve my run.
Yeah, I have to, so Hazel actually just finished 100 parts run, and it takes a very long time to do that, because you have to collect 100 parts, and that's every part that you can get in this version. What was your time, like 3 hours something?
3 hours,
10,
11
20?
minutes.
Yeah. And I did stick around for most of it, but there is a certain section that my internet died for, so I have to go back and rewatch it. But I promise, I make a solemn swear to you, I will get on it.
Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate it. No, that's fine.
For my fellow Medabotters.
Yeah, all three of them. One thing I do hope from this marathon is that more people will be interested in trying the game out. It's a very fun game for sure. Maybe if some of you remember it from childhood, give it a go. See if you like the run. I would recommend starting with any percent, as it's the less RNG based category and it doesn't take a million years.
Yeah.
My run is just a bit over half an hour. You can expect anywhere between the half hour and full hour range, I would say. Depending on RNG, of course. There is still RNG involved in the sense that some fights sometimes are just really fast and sometimes are kind of slow. But yeah, give it a go if you are interested. It's a pretty fun platform fighter, and if you've never played the game before, just try it casually, see if you enjoy it.
Yeah, at the very least, it is a fun game. If you don't have any intention of speedrunning it, the game is an excellent game.
For sure.
And it's cheap. It's not like a super expensive game. So, you know, if you want to go buy the cartridge, it's like maybe $10 on eBay. The RPG gets a little more pricey. The anime, 10 out of 10. Highly recommend. Watch it.
I only remember the anime from
Attack
my
mode
youth.
Metabee.
Yes, exactly. The voice acting in that anime is so good.
It's great.
I just beat Charlie for the 6th time.
I just lost.
No, that's not true. I beat him for the 3rd time, but I counted for the 6th time. I finally beat him again. See if I get the head. Nope. I got the
Oof.
other missile again.
Oh
So out of
my
curiosity,
goodness.
did you say there was 100 parts total?
Yes. Well,
So
there's
in each
100
version.
Yeah, there's 120 parts total. 20 of them are version exclusive.
Yeah, so there are 5 exclusive Medabots to each version.
Yeah, and that counts
if-
up to
if
20
you-
parts.
Yeah, so if you... Oh, and medals, too. There are 4 medals in each version that don't appear in the other version. So if you have that handy-dandy link cable, and you have a friend who has the other version, you can just switch and trade off some of your best parts.
I have 2 Game Boy Advance SPs and a link cable on both versions of the game. So actually, I have a complete save file at home that I made all on my own.
Really?
Yeah.
I do
Because
have to do
with
that.
like about 100 pieces, you could totally make some sort of battleships out of that if you're familiar with the concept.
Yeah, and the cool thing about this game is that there are so many different combinations of Medabots that you can make.
Oh yeah.
You have 25 altogether in each one, so that's a total of 30 Medabots across both versions. I mean, there's 4 parts each, so you can switch out 1, you could switch out 2, you could switch out 3. There are like millions of different combinations, so it's kind of, I always tell people, it's a really good crossover between like a Smash Bros kind of format and custom Robo, because you can customize them however you want. If you'd rather have an attacking Medabot, if you'd rather have, you know, one that's more suited for defense, if you want to be heals and let your partner do all the dirty work. So it's really cool to be able to customize your gameplay and tailor it to how you want it to be.
For sure. I just beat Charlie
Not
again.
many- Uh-oh.
Nope. Still didn't get the head. 7th encounter. that comes up fruitless. And you know what's the worst? What the worst part about this is that I have a high chance of getting this head because both the leader and the partner have the head. So it's like a 1 in 4 chance probably, and I still didn't get it. It just won't happen. I think I'm going to try. Actually, I'm gonna have a little bit of fun here since I do have the holy helmets and some pepper cat stuff.
Oh, there it is.
I'm gonna go for a different set of parts here for my main. So we were talking about this earlier. The holy helm makes you completely invulnerable and accepts the meta forces. So I'm going to be trying that against Charlie. I just found him as well, which is nice. So you'll kind of see how this works. So I'm going to use it right away. You only have two charges on it. There you go. But now he can't hit me at all. So now I can just attack as much as I please.
Yeah, so basically Hazel is on a playground right now.
I don't even have to block. I just wait till they get up, and then I kick them back down, and then I, attack them again. I just ran out, so I'm gonna use it again. I have to be careful for the Metaforce now. They can still kill me.
So as you guys will see, I'm fighting Sea Slug. I'm on the last enemy leader Robo game, so once this battle is over, I'll win a part that I hopefully want, and then I'll get that extra Medabot.
I just beat Charlie again? Please just give me the head here. Nope. This is ridiculous, man. I keep getting clinch wave, which is the little the sound arm that slows you down. That's my 8th encounter with him, by the way.
If you're not careful, I might come up.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's the game's fault, not mine. Alright, okay, I found him again.
Oh, I did get Death Missile, so that's cool.
Oh, nice.
Oh, now all I need to do is complete Spydar.
How close are you to that?
I don't have a single part.
That might take a while then.
So that's cool, Alright, so, yeah, so basically now the rest of this game is sandbox. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Fight
I like to call
this
a sandbox phase.
Yeah. Just a bunch of gambling before you row battle. Sometimes in the bingo board you get some metal squares that say reach level 50 with any metal. And the easiest way to do that is to go to the practice rounds.
Yes!
Because the practice stages... Uh-oh. That doesn't sound good.
I'm finished. GG's, man.
GG. What was your time?
It's time for me. Very nice. That took
like
long enough.
It was like a 1:10:50-ish.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's about 20 minutes under expected time, so not bad, man. Good on you.
20 minutes under, while you are only 10 minutes underestimate? Were you planning to go over?
There was definitely a chance that we would have. Not gonna lie.
I'll tell you right now, there's no way I'm gonna make estimate. not with the way this is going.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, we should have maybe extended it a little bit, but that's no fun.
That's no fun. All right, so we have a Pepper Cat here for the leader, and then 2 parts for Pepper Cat on the partner. So, good chance of getting light circuit or light jab, which would be nice. Once that gets, oh my goodness, good chance of also dying. So keep that.
I'll just be doing some random fights here. It's fill time.
Yeah. Well, how many parts do you have total, actually?
52, I think.
Oh, okay.
Can't check right now because I'm in a fight, but I think it was that.
I was gonna say, you have a good chance of getting 100 parts by the time I'm done with it.
I don't think so, man. 100 parts is something else. As someone who has only recently started running 100 parts, it is a journey.
Yeah, but you already have a couple parts that are considered pretty rare, so. But then again, that's how your last run went, and your RNG at the last 10 parts took a dive.
That's true. In my 100 parts run, I got a lot of rare parts, like, consecutively, very, very quickly. But then, for the very last parts I needed, it took ages. I think I spent half my time on, like, the final 10 parts.
Yeah, he got from, I think, 60 parts to 80 parts, and it only took him, like, 25 minutes, which is unheard of.
That's really, really fast, yeah.
I was looking at his splits after the run was done, and I could not believe it. But, yeah, so, I mean, the last 10 parts or so are always pretty tough to get.
Definitely, definitely. What do I do now? I think I'll try to complete Peppercat now. Maybe I'll cross off a few more squares on the bingo, just to...
See if you can get
Why
2
not?
bingos by the time I get 1.
I mean, not the flex, but yes.
I mean, hey, go for it.
Got nothing else to do.
I'm gonna do...
So you're really seeing this Holy Helmet effect here. I'm getting wailed on, but it's not doing anything to me. So long as the little shield icon is active, I am invulnerable to anything except metaphors. And because it lasts so long, it's really, really broken.
Yeah, Holy Helm is... The only bad thing about Holy Helm is that it is a female-only part, and aside from Peppercat's parts, you really can't take full advantage of it. You can definitely, you know, make it work in your favor, but for the most part, a lot of the stronger, more aggressive Medabot parts come in the males, so it would be a lot better if you could oh my goodness, if you could somehow, actually, I just thought of, you could probably get away with having Holy Helm and then doing, like, the 2 Saldron arms to try to get a male part randomly.
I don't know about that. That's a little too RNG heavy, in my opinion. It would probably be best to just go for it's an option, but it's way too inconsistent because there are a lot of parts that are really not that great. If you get something like let's say like a Gorm item like Dotak or something like that's just a useless arm you have for a lot of the game.
Yeah, that's true. Speaking of,
but yeah, what WhoDis said is right. A lot of the strong parts are male. Helmet's male. The hammers are all male. The punch, the electric punch is male. The ninja swords are male, and you can't combine male and female parts. So yeah, usually I end up fighting with 2 male Medabots, just because they are stronger. But at the end of the day, it's all up to the player.
I am getting toyed with by the Storm. Wonder why this bingo is taking so long. So, as you can see, I had to take out his partner first, and I did that with no problem, and I just died because I got cocky and ran in. So, it's cool.
It can be easy to get cocky sometimes, like especially if you're up so many parts, but then you can just get hit once by some strong attack and still lose. Definitely happened to me a bunch of times. Even in this race, that's happened. Like sometimes you just die out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It's kind of frustrating, but you learn to deal with it. It's not the worst thing.
I actually don't know what I should be doing. I guess I'll go to... Okay, cool. So, yeah, so Samantha, she can get pretty aggressive. It'll be tough. Yeah.
Samantha's never not aggressive, in my experience.
The only thing that's really tricky about Samantha is she has 2 Medabots who are aggressive, and they're both melee. So the strat with her is to just hang out in a corner, back up, defend until there's an opening. Once there's an opening, use your hammer, try to break as many parts as you can.
Yeah, I find that's the strategy for a lot of the game, actually. You just sort of... it's probably the most lame strategy in the game, but it's the one that works the best. You just sort of hang out in a corner, holding L, which is block, and then nothing is really safe on block. If you attack someone who's blocking, they can usually just hit you out of it.
Yeah. Oh man, this is gonna be huge. So I just got light jab, which completed Pepper Cat, so I checked off
Oh, nice.
light jab and complete 4 Medabots, and I only need one more part, which is the headpiece for Totalizer, and that's who just popped up in this area.
Okay, so you're almost done too.
So, pending this one part, I could be complete. And
Nice.
that would be great, because I want to make time.
I hope you make time, man.
I don't want to go 20 minutes over it.
We also don't have the time to go 20 minutes.
Yeah,
overestimate.
yeah. Exactly.
You just have to stop. Oh no. Give him the part!
So how's it looking? What do you think?
I'll
He has a
let you
fair
know
shot,
in about,
I'd say.
in about 10 seconds. Oh no, my partner died. That's not good. Alright, let's see. Fingers crossed. Cross your toes and your arms too, if you can.
I've everything crossed.
I got a 1 in 8 chance. Let's see if my luck is as good as I hope it's gonna be.
As good as mine.
No, it is not.
Rip!
Rip.
Rip.
That's alright. At least I know where Sloan is, so I can keep doing that fight with no problem.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Once you find an enemy in your rotation, you can just keep soft resetting to find them, and hopefully get the part you need. That's how I got the part I needed at the end.
Yeah.
Alright, since we're closing in on estimate here, we're already a bit behind schedule. I'd say I'll give you 5 more minutes.
Alright.
Game on. Let's
Game
do
on.
it.
I believe in you, man.
Gonna
You
be a
got
lot
this.
of soft resetting.
Yep. Gotta find Sloan, man. And then not lose him.
Yeah. And then win the part that I want.
That too.
So, to make it interesting, I will say this. Oh, here we go. If I make it under estimate, I will donate $25.
Ooh. I like that.
Good.
Well, we're already
it's
over
for
it.
You know
good
what?
cause.
You know what? I'll do the
All
same.
right, never mind. if we're already overestimated,
Oh,
never mind.
what did you say? Never mind then. You bamboozled me. What the hell?
All right, I'll tell you what. If I win the part I need right now, I'll do the same thing.
All right, I'll do the same.
Of course, I do need to win. So
If you lose the fight, don't you dare.
I know. I'll never let myself live it down.
The good thing is, though, if you donate $25, you will be eligible for a Bingothon mug, a Cuphead Perler, Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity Nintendo Switch digital version, and the Link and
Oh.
Zelda Perler.
Yo.
I mean, what else could I want? Oh, here we go, baby. Headshot.
Watch me win every prize.
All 4. Every single one of those.
All of them. That's how good my luck is.
Nope. Ah!
Ah. Darn.
I got about one more match with Sloan left. Oh, man.
All right, man.
This is a good time to let you all know. Learn from my mistake. Okay, wear deodorant when you do this run because you will get sweaty. It is a sweaty run.
He does have a point. This run can get tense. Especially any percents, I would say. I feel like 100 parts is a bit more chill because it takes so long anyway.
Yeah,
but any percent,
is
like every
definitely
match can be
sweatier.
make or break. So very scary run, but a very fun
Yeah.
run at the same time.
It's definitely fun. I think out of all the speed runs that I've done, this any percent run is probably my favorite. It's the one I'm most familiar with. It is the most RNG dependent, but there's just something about it, you know. There's some kind of charm to it that never gets old for me.
Oh, for sure.
It's that gamble of like, oh man, Am I going to get good RNG? You know, am I going to headshot the first trial match and put myself on a great pace and then get awful RNG in the tournament and then get really sad?
The thing I always hope for is getting a good Henry fight, which is the last guy in the tournament. He's traditionally been my my roadblock in any percent runs because he's just so difficult to beat.
Yeah, I actually have Erica starred on my live splits just because she's that much of a problem for me sometimes.
Oh wow.
It doesn't look like I'm gonna get much more good luck with fighting Sloan, so.
Dang, man.
Alright, then I would decide to call it right here.
Okay.
GG's, Hazel. Good
My
match.
unfortunate,
Fun.
Yeah, thank you.
much as I hate to do it.
No, hey, I understand. Believe
Yeah,
me.
you guys got a schedule to run, you know?
Yeah.
Makes perfect sense.
Alright.
Oh,
So,
just kidding. I just headshot him. I could get it right now.
Oh!
Get your donations in the next 5 seconds. I could get it right now.
Oh! Oh!
Oh,
Oh!
Is this Pog? Is this Pog?
Is this it?
Oh no!
Oh! Dude,
Oh,
come
so much
on.
hype.
Stop getting our hopes up, dude.
Just
What the hell?
get it, and then we'll be super excited.
You did that like 4 times. Oh my god.
Just quickly cut to transition. They'll never know. Wait, we're too late.
Oh,
GG's.
alright.
GG's, man.
Thanks for running, guys. Was super entertaining.
Thank you for having us. I appreciate it. It was fun.
For sure.
Any final words from you?
Go check out the Medabotx community if you're interested. We're definitely a small group, but we would always love to see new people take on these games and keep donating for the good cause.
Yeah, definitely. We're very open. We're a small knit community, but we all have a pretty big passion for the games. So if you're interested in it, if you want to learn more about it, definitely check it out. At the very least, like I said, they're fun, casual games. And yeah, thank you guys for hosting this. It's for a great cause for sure. So keep those donations flowing in, because who doesn't want a Bingothon mug?
Yeah.
True.
Good question.
Even Flowa wants another one, even though he already has one.
one for each hand. Double fist and coffee.
Exactly.
All right.
All right. Hello, everybody. How are you doing? You are currently watching Bingothon Winter 2020, raising money for Fred Hutch. And yeah,
We're going
so
strong so far. 1120?
yeah.
Or well, technically 1119 and 50 cents.
Yeah, those 50 cents are quite something. Yeah, but we just came to a conclusion in here, like in our host cabin in here. Like I think that the next runners could actually be imposters.
Oh no.
You know, I think I saw him vent. He threw his hat on the vent and then went in.
What?
Whoa.
Whoa.
That's definitely sus.
Oh yeah, certainly. Like but also like have
Wait,
you ever seen Mario throw his cap around like he does like that? He never does that in any other game.
no,
He's
I've
only
been
doing that in that very game. So
yeah,
that one's certainly very suspicious.
Yeah, I think it might actually not be Mario. I know I'm a Mario expert here.
Oh yeah,
same here as
certainly.
well. We got multiple Mario experts, and
Exactly.
I can say for certain, with all my Mario experience, that is not regular Mario behavior. Heck, that's not even Luigi behavior. I
But-
find it. Wait, is
But what else could it be?
uh,
Could it
well,
perhaps be Luigi?
wah! So sorry.
I don't know, Floha. You seem to be jumping on this a whole idea. Quite. Maybe you're the suspicious one.
What?
Oh.
Hey, let's keep
Did-
calm a bit.
Did you
here.
just self-report?
I think he might
Like
have
you just reported that
self-reported.
we were playing.
Hey, what if
Should we throw him
Trigo
out the
is
vent?
actually just throwing the sus on me to
Hey, I'm
frame
just
to
keeping an
frame me.
objective look over the current
frame me.
situation here.
Yeah, we gotta make sure that we are sus of everybody, or at
I
least
don't
when
know.
they're doing
Like
sus
we're
things.
halfway
And-
through the tasks, you know, on this marathon, and like,
well, we're not even halfway there. It's
I
we
suppose
gotta-
it's just kind of covered up by like the menu screen, so I can't really see. But we're at least
yeah. I feel like someone's been trying to make us not get these tasks done, and the next runners, you know, they could be the ones that are making our life difficult here in the spaceship. I think it's a spaceship. Is it?
it depends where we are.
Well,
maybe we're in that.
This hosting cabin can be anything
I vote for a log cabin.
with
Ooh.
lots of fantasy.
And proper distance, because that's still important.
Yes,
Indeed.
of course.
Make sure you stay safe out there.
Yeah.
And there's a certain somebody that's helping us research about staying safe. Ooh, word. Staying safe. Safe.
Staying safe and becoming safer.
Fred
And-
Hutch.
Oh, that's amazing. Did you know? Insert plug here.
Fred Hutch was named the coordinating center for COVID Vaccine Prevention Network, CoVPN, in July 2020. CoVPN brings together the expertise and the resources of the four of the United States' most sophisticated clinical trial networks to conduct clinical trials for COVID-19 vaccines. Full stop.
Okay. I gotta say, I am 100% certain that Fred Hutch is not sus.
Yeah, I
Yep.
can agree on that.
But that's something that an
He did the
imposter
med
would
bay,
never
and I-
do.
I saw them do body check. Body scan.
Yeah, I did. He did the med bay, and I also had med bay, and I checked.
Yeah, I can agree with that. All right.
But are we sus enough that we can actually vote them off?
I'm not sure we can vote anybody off this round. We might have to wait till the next.
Yeah, but
Yeah, I guess we just wait and see the run and can then determine their fate after Several.
Or here's an idea. We could just jettison Flohar off now, and then, if no one dies, then we know we've done it right.
Yeah. To be fair, Fload, go to bed. You've been awake for way too long. You have shift again tonight. Go to bed. Maybe it is the idea to vote you off, because even though if we're wrong in whether you're an imposter or not, I think it'd still be worth it
Yeah,
if you
so
could
it's
get
either
one vote.
Flohar or Mario, and if it's not Flohar, then we just vote off Mario. We just immediately
Alright,
call the meeting.
I'm gonna vote myself in here.
He's
I'm
admitting
gonna
it.
give in. I'm gonna give in. I'm actually gonna head to bed now. So
All right, good.
get
Have a
right
good
on
sleep.
handling the rest, guys, and yeah, I'll be back later on. See ya.
Bye,
No
Floa.
problem.
Have a good night.
Good night, Flohar, our master
Or
and
thanks.
lord. Can I just
Oh.
remind everyone that we don't have many bid wars and goals coming up soon, but we do have the Worms Armageddon goal. We did have $20 put to it earlier with Skarmory, but it's not just the
Yay!
winning name that gets in, it's the top 12. So currently, all 3 names that are currently there are in. If you want to just get $1 and make a name something, then it's your free
Yeah.
opportunity.
You could even do like 9 separate $1 donations, or well, make it 10. You give your favorite name, you give $2. The other 8 names you give $1. There will all be names in there, and since you donated $10, you'll be eligible for a great Bingothon mug.
And you could also donate $1.50 to fix our donation total.
Yes, that'd be great as well, because it still bothers me that it says that we're at 1120, but it's like almost, but not.
1119.50. Or if you if you really want to make things exciting, you could just donate $1 and 19 pence, and then that would also be a cool number.
Nice.
Very
wait,
nice.
that's a different number. Or wait, which one? I honestly forgot. Which one is a nice number? Is that 69 or 420?
I'm pretty sure it's 69.
Okay, nice.
Nice. So, more details about the run that's going to be coming up next. It's Super Mario Odyssey. It's going to be a triple bingo run, and it's going to be a race between 2 of our runners here.
But isn't it actually being a blackout bingo because the donation incentive was met?
Ooh. Would that be the case? If so, even more exciting. We have got confirmation that it is ready. So,
all right, then we're gonna go over to them. Okay, everyone keep a good eye out on them. They might be acting very suspicious. If you think that they're ever suspicious, for any donation you can let us call out an emergency meeting.
Perfect, yeah. Be ready for the blackout bingo. I muted us.